Well, welcome to the Umbraco Users Group of India, the official India Meetup. Okay,
Thank you very much.
so yeah, let me start today with the Umbraco Engage. I think one of the personalization topics special in Umbraco. So we warmly welcome you.
Cool. Thank you very much, Nico.
Yep,
Let me start off by sharing my screen, and then we can get this party started.
yep,
This should be good to go. Can you all see my screen?
yep. Good to
Wonderful.
go.
In that case, let me start off by introducing myself. My name is Corné Olskam, and I'm the technical team lead within the commercial products team, specifically focused on Umbraco Engage within Umbraco HQ itself. Nicola has been so kind to ask me if I would be interested in giving a technical demo for this amazing Indian audience today, which I'm of course more than excited to do. So we'll start today with a bit of a product demo. We'll be taking a look at one of the demo sites that we've created specifically for Umbraco Engage in combination with Umbraco Commerce, which is called The Beanery. You can even follow along yourself if you're interested today via the URL displayed currently on your screen, thebeanery.coffee, on which we will today be looking at all the various features that Engage has to offer. If you have any questions, feel free to save them until the end of the presentation. If we have some more time for it, I will be covering them where need be. And if we don't get around to it, you can always reach out to Umbraco themselves or to me directly, and I'll more than gladly help you along with all the questions that you may have. So, Umbraco Engage, what is it? Some of you may that have been along for a while now may have been familiar with the term new marketing suite, which as of this last year has been acquired by Umbraco and has been rebranded and been brought up to date under the new name of Umbraco Engage. During this demo, we'll be taking a look at 4 of the main features that Engage has to offer, which are analytics, personalization, A/B testing, and profiling. So let's start off by taking a look at analytics. Analytics are a tool that allows you to provide server-side analytics, server-side insights on user behavior, engagement patterns, and high-performing content within Umbraco. For each of your pages within your website, you can see exactly how it is performing, and you can keep track of how your visitors are engaging throughout different patterns. Think of the amount of page views that you're getting, things like sessions, the amount of visitors, but also where are they actually browsing from? Are they coming in through campaigns? All that kind of information right from your Umbraco dashboards. Not only is this visible on an individual page level, but you can also see this on an entire website level to get an overview of how your platform exactly is performing. One of the things that Umbraco Engage also ships with is something that we call the cockpit. The cockpit is an add-on on Umbraco Engage that is visible throughout the front end of your application that allows marketers and editors to see exactly what Umbraco Engage is currently doing on your specific page. You can see this by going through the front ends of your website, and only in this case, if you're logged into Umbraco as well, you will see a little bit of a tab that you can open on the, by default, I think it's the right side of your screen, which you can expand to see all the additional information about you as a visitor. So without going into too much technical details this time around, let's see how you can actually use all this information. Which brings us to the next point, which is personalization. Personalization allows us to deliver tailored experience to your visitors that actually resonate with them on a personal level. So what we've noticed is throughout the years that the attention span of visitors has become shorter and shorter. You may notice from not only visitors on your website, but also the generational changes that have happened over time as well. Think of the TikTok generation. People are no longer interested in seeing movies that are 2.5, 3 hours long, but this time they want rapid content specifically for them through TikTok, quick reels, all that kind of stuff. So in this day and age, it's more important than ever to be relevant. Because on a website itself, you may only have 1 or 2 actual page views to convince your visitor of whatever you're trying to achieve on your platform. With Umbraco Engage, we also make it so that we have a very easy learning curve to actually get started. With Umbraco Engage, you can simply use the CMS in a native way to build up your segments and personalize content to your needs. So what does this mean in practice? Well, let's take a look at a bit of a scenario. For this, we will be using the Beanery, which I've mentioned previously, as our demo website to take a look at the various use cases that you can use personalization for. Starting with personalization that is triggered by content consumption on your website. So, what is that? What is the Beanery exactly? Well, simply put, the Beanery is a website that provides inspiration about coffee and or tea, which also happens to sell coffee-related products. On this site, we may want to target something specifically for you, depending on what you are interested in this case. If I see, we go. So, like I said, within the platform, we offer various types of inspiration, which may be interested in this case, either for people that are interested in coffee or in this case for tea. Let's say you want to know how to make the perfect iced coffee, you learn more about the essential tea brewing tools, you want to master the perfect pour over coffee, you name it. So as a visitor, let's say I browse the website and the first article that I click on is the article about cold brew. This would suggest that I am interested in iced coffee by browsing, and you can see in the cockpit on the top right that by simply browsing this website or this specific webpage, I have been getting some points within the coffee lovers persona. Engage keeps track of this as for me as a visitor, and it says, okay, you have watched this specific page. We know a little bit about you. You may be interested in coffee. Next, we go back to our overview page and we look around and see what other pages we are interested in. And the next page that we as a visitor click on is the Impress Your Friends Using Latte Art website page. As you can see again, in the cockpit, we can see that we gathered some more points as a coffee lover, but not just enough to actually be able to be totally convinced that you are actually interested in coffee as a specific coffee lover persona. So we go back to the overview. And last but not least, we then click on a third article about making the perfect espresso at home. And what we can now see is that we have gathered enough points within Umbraco Engage that we have marked ourselves as a coffee lover persona, which has now been activated on me as a visitor. The next time that I go to the homepage of our website, I will suddenly see that there is an additional banners displayed on our page, which gives me the option to try out a free sample of our coffee, specifically because we know we are interested in coffee, most likely. And then if we move further onto the page, we can also see that we have changed the banner on our homepage to say, hey, get your sample pack for now. We know you're interested in it. Do you like to try this out? So as you can see, an amazing use case on how to personalize content based on the type of content that your visitor may be interested in. So how do you actually set this up? Well, that is quite easy. Let's take a look at creating a new profile. What we want to do in this case is, besides having the coffee lovers or tea drinkers, we want to say, well, I want to be able to identify people that may love cookies. If so, if we see that there are a lot of people that may be interested in this, we might start selling additional products on our website as an additional lead because we know that there's an audience for it. If we were to go to the back office within Umbraco, within Engaged, Personalization, and then Personas, we can say add a brand new persona. We are then able to actually fill in some of the information about it. What's the title? What would a cookie lover actually be? Given an image so that we know what we're working with, and save our actual persona. What is left for us to do then is then go to content and give a specific score for this persona, which allows Engage to take care of the rest. And as soon as someone watches or clicks on that specific page, we will now mark them as, or we will now assign them points to be a coffee lover, and we can take care of the rest for the personalization aspect of Umbraco Engage. So let's take a quick look at another example of personalization that can be triggered by content consumption. In this case, instead of just doing so by watching specific content, we can also trigger personalization through the use of campaigns. Campaigns, if you're running, you are most likely already able to send out things like mailings or postings on social media that are directed to a specific landing page on your website that may be interesting for you that may be interesting to your visitors on your website or a specific product or a niche that you're trying to sell. Well, what we can do is, let's say in this case, we are running a Black Friday deal. And in this example, we have an Instagram campaign running on with a campaign that says, hey, during Black Friday, we offer a 20% discount deal on a specific product on our website. So be sure to, it's a campaign, so get onto our platform. We offer this discount for you. What happens is that if an Instagram user is clicking on that specific banner, they will be redirected to your website, but with a specific UTM campaign. In this case, specified UTM campaign is Black Friday. Engage will then detect this Black Friday value, and the homepage will now be personalized specifically for you, showing you a special Black Friday header on the top. And we mention a 20% discount on your homepage, mentioning the discount for a specific Black Friday deal. But not just that. Let's say I navigate away from the homepage to our products page. We can still see that we are now getting offered an additional pop-up saying, hey, we are still in a Black Friday deal. Be sure to order now and you will get 20% off your first purchase, even though we are no longer actually visiting the page on that specific campaign. Engage will have remembered that we have been part of that specific campaign during this current visit, and make sure that we target the proper content specifically for you. So one other example that we can come up with within personalization is the use of an exit intent within commerce. Of course, one of the main goals that we've mentioned for our website itself is to not just offer inspiration about coffee and tea, but we also sell coffee and tea related products. So that is one of the main use cases to make a profit, which is also what we want to increase upon on our website. So let's take a look. If we go to thebrienery.coffee and head to our products, we will see that we offer both roasted coffee and tea leaves. In this case, we are more interested in coffee, so we click on I love coffee. And the next page that we see is that we offer two different types. Are we interested in either a dark roast or a light roast? Do we want regular coffee or decaf? Well, let's say I want myself a big bag of regular roasted coffee, and head over to the detail page for that. And on that page, I'll have the option to add these specific products to my shopping cart. I'll add it to my shopping cart. And what I will see is that I have a specific item on there. But for whatever reason, I'm not just yet interested in actually checking out. I go back to the homepage and wander a little bit more throughout my page. Well, what would happen if I were to actually forget to purchase the order that I did? Well, with Umbraco Engage, we're able to detect that. Once we have detected that we are leaving the page without actually finishing the product, we will be able to use an exit intent or our platform to try and close this deal once more by, in this case, offering a 10% discount. Exit intent pop-ups have an average conversion rate of somewhere between 3 to 11%. So it's definitely something that is worthwhile implementing on your web shop within a case like this. So this is how it would look like, very simply put. Simply go to your shopping cart and use a specific discount code that we want to offer you, just because we think that you are interested in closing your web shop without actually completing a purchase yet. So how is this configured? Well, surprisingly easily. By going to the back office, we are able to select a bunch of different parameters to assign people into a specific segment. And with Umbraco Commerce installed, we have the option of 2 additional parameters. In this case being, we have a product in our cart and are we an existing customer or not? By combining these two, we can simply say, well, I have a product in my cart, but I don't want to target people that are already an existing customer. So we can specify that as, okay, I'm not a customer, but I have a product in the cart. And then as soon as I fall within that segment, I will be able to display that exit intent when we recognize that you are leaving as a customer. So very powerful tools to make sure that you get some additional revenue or insights for your customers on your platform. Another interesting use case that we can come up with for personalization is when we identify that we have a returning customer. In this case, we would say that a returning customer is a customer that has completed a purchase within the last couple of days, and they are now returning onto our platform to get some additional information. What happens to be the case is that people tend to get nervous if the package is not delivered within 24 hours. That's something over the last few years we are very used to getting something shipped quite rapidly. But what if that's not the case? Well, we might be able to identify our visitor as being a visitor that might be interested in getting some information about their shipping. So let's build a segment on that. What we can do is, in this case, say, okay, I want to be able to target an existing customer, but only a customer that has placed an order in the last specific 3 days. This is something that we can configure within these segments, which makes this as configurable as you would like. So now that we have this segment ready, we can actually start personalizing content for this group of visitors. First of all, we have our default homepage, which is the homepage that you would see when you actually return to your website as a first-time visitor, but we can make this way more relevant for this specific use case. So by going to Umbraco and going to our homepage, what we can do is we'll head over to the brand new personalization tab that you can see on the top right, which is provided by Umbraco Engage. Then we go to the personalized variants tab and we can click on add personalized variant. Within this, we are able to then select our newly created segment, which is a returning customer within 3 days after completing their purchase. We give it a name and a little bit of a description on what we want to change within this specific variant of our homepage. What we can then see is that we get this nice split view within Umbraco of all our content. What we then, in this case, want to do is, let's say we want to copy the content over from the homepage to the variant, because we only want to make some minor adjustments and not change the entire page itself. And within the header, we'll change some additional information to make this page more relevant for you as a returning visitor. So in this case, we'll say we change the title to Where's My Package? We give it a new promo title. We change the link itself to not just be the About Us page, but a link to your tracking order. And then we'll hit save and continue on to our journey. What we can now see is that if we are that customer that returns to our website, within 3 days of placing our order, we will now see this custom homepage that says, where's my package and do you need some additional help tracking your order? Besides that, we can expand a little bit more on this by not only modifying the header, but also adding some additional content that we may think is interesting for you. So what we'll do, we'll just say, well, let's add additional column to our content section. We'll fill in additional feeds for, in this case, in a frequently asked questions section for things like, do you have questions about your delivery or do you need some additional support? We'll add it in between the rest of our content, but only specifically for this personalized variant. We'll hit save and publish. And then the next time our visitor actually gets onto our page, we'll be able to see the personalized variant once again with our newly created section just for this specific person. Once again, this person will only actually see this if they are returning within 3 days of completing an order. After that time period, they no longer fall within this specific section and they will start seeing the default versions of the content again. So that is personalization in a nutshell. And as you can see, it can be a very powerful tool to bring personalized experiences to you as a visitor. So next up, one of the features that Umbraco Engage offers is A/B testing. A/B testing allows you to optimize any element within with actual data-backed testing within your website and allows you to experiment with different types of content to see which is actually performing best. So what we can do within Umbraco Engage and the A/B testing section, we can see that we want to create an A/B test for a specific page where we want to create 2 unique variants and see which one performs better. We select a goal for that specific test. In this case, we say our goal is that we want people to have requested a free sample package of one of our products. And then we can modify the pages for each specific variant that we want to test. In this case, what we have done is say, okay, the thing that we are modifying within this A/B test is we have a form that allows you to request a free sample. One has a shorter, is simply said a shorter form, so we have less fields that the user has to fill in, and the other variant has a couple more fields that we want our users to submit before requesting a sample. We add an hypothesis to this, saying, well, I assume that the shorter form will lead to a higher conversion rate, and that we don't really expect too much exciting to go on besides that. So we'll be able to specify both forms on each of the different versions of the A/B test, and then run our actual test. Once we've done that, we can keep track in real time which one of these variants of our page is actually performing best for our specific goal. Which in this case, we can see that the original version of our homepage has a specific set of page views and goal completions. And the longer form in this case seems to be performing poorer, as we have less goal completions on the longer form than on the original form. So this allows you to very quickly test which versions of your content seem to perform best for a specific goal that you have in mind on your specific page, making sure that each and every change drives maximum engagement and conversions within your platform. So last but certainly not least, let's take a look at the profiling feature within Umbraco Engage. Profiling is a feature built out of the box within Umbraco Engage that builds a comprehensive feature or a comprehensive list of the different profiles of the visitors that are coming onto your platform. Within this, we are able to see not only the amount of visitors that are coming onto your platform and whether they are returning or not, but we are able to see on a very specific level what they are doing or not. You can even filter and export this if needed, which is especially useful for implementing with third-party applications that may would like to use this specific information. If we were to click on a specific profile, what we can see is that within this 360-degree profiling view, we get a rich user profile based on all their behavior, demographics, and preferences. In this case, we can, for example, see the specific goals that this user has triggered. We can see if they have been part of a specific campaign during one or more of their specific visits. We can see if they have completed one or more Umbraco form submissions, if they have used any of the search boxes that your website may offer, and many more features to offer just within the actual insights of a specific member and profile. If we want to dive even deeper into the specific activity of this user, we have the activity tab shown on the top, which gives us a very precise image of the specific profiles, allowing us to effortlessly segment our audience and deliver even more relevant content specifically for them. See what they have been doing, where have they been doing, but also maybe even more importantly, where have they stopped reaching a specific goal, or when have they completed a specific goal for a website, and how does that relate to our conversion and engagement that we wish to reach. Next up, with Umbraco Commerce installed as well, we can also seamlessly integrate our personalization on top of that. But not just personalization, as we've shown before, we also get additional profile insights on this. If we go to the profile section as shown right here, we can see the specific orders that this user has created and get all the additional information that we may want to, that we may be interested in. Just to be able to tell what a user has done. Have they completed an order or not? Have they left something in their shopping cart? And why have they stopped their journey? Or if they haven't stopped, why? What kind of purchases have they actually ordered from a positive point of view? And lastly, profiles are also extendable, allowing you to connect things like your own CRM or your CDP data right on a profile level within the Umbraco back office. Of course, within Umbraco 13, we can easily do this with some technical setup using AngularJS. Coming up with the new version of Umbraco, we will be able to use this within the new back office itself. But this allows you to easily expand upon a user's profile and get all the necessary information from third-party applications right from within your own Umbraco dashboard. So with all of this, you can see we almost have unlimited potential that you can use on the information within Umbraco, personalization, A/B testing, and profiles. But how do you actually get started? Well, that is surprisingly easy. And let me just hop onto my IDE and show you how easily it can be. If I were to open an example project that I've opened right here, I hope everyone is able to see this. In theory, I should be sharing. I see Nicole nodding, so that should be good, I think. What you're able to see is that I'm currently using JetBrains Rider as my IDE, but of course, anything really works. And within this, I've created a brand new Umbraco starter kit project with just Umbraco Forms and Umbraco Commerce installed. Currently running on the latest version of Umbraco 13 as well, as that's the latest version that Umbraco Engage currently supports. All that we really need to do to actually get started with Umbraco Engage is search for Umbraco Engage within our NuGet feed. Of course, you can also edit via a terminal commands or whatever way you prefer. But of course, this is one of the easiest ways that we have. The current latest version that we have available is 13.1. Simply say press install. And that's pretty much it. If we were to now say build this project, and this may take a little while longer now that we are currently streaming on through Teams, and then I hit run, I will then see that we will have our Umbraco application running. Give it a hot minute or so, shouldn't take too long. There we go, should be good. Then I have it running on another screen. Let's quickly move this over. Once it is loaded up and ready to go, there we go. We will see that we have a brand new installation of Umbraco going on. Now, if I were to head to the back office and type in the default credentials for our test installation, which is the good old admin and then passwords 130, we will see that we now have a brand new tab available at the top saying Engage. And that's pretty much all you need to do to actually get started. If I were to now go over to the Engage tab itself, you will see that Umbraco Engage by default ships in trial mode, which allows you to try out Umbraco Engage with all of its unlimited potential for free on your local host machines with all features enabled for you to be able to mess around with all that this product has to offer. So, like I said, if you have any further questions, we definitely have some time for it right now, I think. And I hope, first and foremost, that I was able to get you excited about all the amazing features that Umbraco Engage has to offer. And if you have any questions to get started, feel free to let us know. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Corne. It's really amazing with the Engage. And yes, we got one question from the car. Does Engage store all the data for tracking inside the Umbraco DB in custom table?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah. One of the main points within Umbraco Engage that we're really proud of is that when installing Umbraco Engage, all the data that's collected is your own. Everything that you do is stored on your own Umbraco database by default, which of course you can also configure to be a separate database if you wish to do so via a different connection string. But by default, everything is stored in the same location that your Umbraco installation is stored, making you the entire owner of all of your data. Nothing ever goes to Umbraco. If for some reason you decide to not continue with a potential license of the product or whatever, you will still have all of your own data available. You are the owner and the only owner of your actual data within your own stored database tables. So yes.
So that means all the page analytics and all the data is inside the Umbraco DB itself.
Correct, yes.
Okay, got it. And I see one of the things which is called where you were just showing the split view with the English one, that language, and with the different persona. So that persona would be configured based on the language, or it would be unique for the all languages?
A persona is set itself on Umbraco application wide, so not on a
Okay.
specific language. But once you create a segment of a specific page or a variation of a page, that's a variation for that specific language. So let's say you have an
Okay.
English and an Indian version of your homepage.
Hmm.
You will be personalizing one specific language for one specific segment in that case.
Okay. Got it.
Cool.
Also, we have one more question from Milan, is that are we able to do some customization or extend it?
That's a great question. Besides profiles, we also offer the ability to extend things like, well, extension is a great word. But what you're able to do is you are currently able to export things like the profile data already to be able to use in your own use cases.
Okay.
And also in the future, we have plans to make APIs available as well for all the data that we use in reporting, so that you're able to expand on that for your own use cases, depending on if you have some, let's say, a data warehouse that you wish to access the data from, to be able to make that accessible as well. We do not have a specific extension point within the application, but we have a lot of configurability to within the different configurations in the application, so you're able to configure just how you want to be able to use Engage for your specific use case.
Okay. And yeah, Tony also mentioned, that's what I was thinking about the caching. As we are collecting all the informations to on the U-Market, we can say the Engage.
Mhm.
Still, I remember the U-Marketing suite, but yeah, in the Engage, like as we are collecting all the information from the page, how it affects with the page performance.
We try to keep it as minimal as possible. Of course, there will always be a slight impact on the actual tracking, because a lot more data is
Being
being fetched
transferred.
and
Yep.
processed at the same time. But we try to offload as much info, as much processes to the background, so that the actual returning of the page to the visitor is as fast as possible. Um, of course, yeah, like I said, it will always have a minimal impact, but we try to make it as negligible as possible.
Okay. So as Tony is asking, like with .NET 7, there is a feature called output caching. So how
Mhm.
would this work with the Engage?
That's an excellent question. And that really depends on how you want to configure your output caching, I guess. Um, the most important part for this to actually work in its entirety is that even if you are using output caching or any form of caching, is that the visitor still or that the request of the visitor is still getting processed by Umbraco. As soon as you put something like a CDN or caching on in front of it that makes it so that the entire pipeline gets neglected, then of course this will also mean that Umbraco Engage stops collecting any information for analytics purposes, and at the same time also makes it so that personalization won't be able to function. So if you'd like, you are able to cache specific components on a specific page, for example, which is a great use case for personalization. But as soon as you get to a page-wide level of how I want to return the entire content, then we would not recommend using output caching unless you are able to configure the output caching to vary based on a specific segment. We offer a bunch of services and APIs to get some more information about the current user and the type of content that is being retrieved. So if you're able to vary the output caching based on those parameters, I'm sure we'll be able to. I'm sure that output caching won't get too much in the way of that process as well, as long as the actual request itself still gets processed through Umbraco and the routing to go along with that.
Okay. And Nathaniel also has one question about the license, like as the Umbraco Engage cover a multi-site setup with the single
Uh,
license?
That's another good question. For the specifics about the licensing details, be sure to reach out to support. They know a lot more about it than me. But correct me if I'm wrong, so don't pin me on this. But a single license is valid for a single Umbraco back office installation. But that does allow you to use multiple front end domains as long as it's running on the same Umbraco back office site.
Great.
I see. Next question. Is it compliant with GDPR and other data protection laws? That's another excellent question. And yes, it absolutely is. We offer additional documentation how to make your site as GDPR compliant or how to make your site GDPR compliant in combination with Umbraco Engage, which in this case with GDPR specifically has mostly to do about cookie permissions. One of the extension points that Umbraco Engage offers is the ability to, or even the requirement, I should say, to ship your own cookie provider implementation. So whether it is something like CookieBot or whatever you prefer, Umbraco Engage allows you to specify which types of features should be enabled for a specific visitor at any given time, depending on your specific implementation. So like I said, for CookieBot, we have a specific example on our documentation site that allows you to read the specific GDPR or the specific cookie configurations that you have set over there. And based on that, say either nothing is enabled or even only analytics or analytics, A/B testing, and personalization should be allowed. And that's on a individual visitor level. And for any other specific data protection law questions, feel free to either reach out to support or look at the documentation on Umbraco Docs for Umbraco Engage, as I'm sure we have some additional information about privacy protection laws on there as well.
Okay. And is it ready with the 15 as well, or still we are with the V13 on the Engage?
Currently, it's only for V13. We are working very hard to make it compatible with the new back office. But it's a large task. Umbraco Engage is a massive product. So I won't be able to give any estimates on that yet. Just know that it's definitely in the works right now. So should definitely
expect something till the next LTS with V17 it would be ready?
That is definitely our target, and preferably sooner as well. Yes.
Oh, great. Any other questions, audience?
Now's the time. And like I said, if anyone does come up with any questions after this meeting, feel free to reach out either to myself personally or through Umbraco support, and they will be able to help you out with all the questions that you may have to get started on your Umbraco Engage journey.
Sure, sure, Corne. Yeah, I think.
Cool.
Thank you so much, Corny, for your time, for the exploring the capabilities of Umbraco Engage. And now I think everyone is aware, like what to reach out and when to reach out when someone is talking about the personalization, especially with Umbraco.
Exactly. Thank you very much for having me, Nico. Yep. And excited to be. I was very excited to be here, and hopefully I'll be able to attend more often. This amazing audience.
Thank you, Corny. Yeah, thank you. So I don't think so there is any more questions. We can conclude this meetup number 9 of Umbraco Users Group of India. And for the audience like who has joined, we have a next meetup lined up with Umbraco with Astro. And might be there will be something for Umbraco Commerce with the Met in the upcoming one. Thank you, everyone, I guess. Have a great New Year.
Have a great day, Nicole.
Thank you, Kawane. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Kawan. Bye-bye.
Bye.